welcome back to another, I guess, weekly Medaka Pond Check recap. I might have missed a few of the shorts this week, but you're getting this early. So I'm going to try and drop these on Mondays. Just because it's a day that I don't really do much. But today, the goal is to clear some of the floaters off the top of the ponds. I'm going to look into the fish in that pond, see how they're doing, because there's a bunch of different ones growing in there. But we'll go over each little individual pond as I get to it. The grow out ponds are doing pretty well. This one down here, we'll get to it later. But I have 2 more set up now because I need more grow out tanks. As you can see, there are 7 different varieties. So I'm gonna need 7 different grow out ponds. And they're all gonna grow at different stages. So I'll probably need grow out ponds to separate things and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, one step at a time. Today we're gonna just remove the surface plants, the floaters. Don't be confused, there are 2 intros to this video. I filmed 2 different ones, and I just couldn't decide which one to go with, so you get both. Welcome back to another Medaka weekly pond check here at Julian Aquatics. There's some loud music occurring out here in my neighborhood. I don't mind it, I just wish I could hear it more clearly. Anyways, if this is your first time at one of these weekly check-ins, welcome. If not, welcome back. What I do is we go through a little bit of each pond, each variety, and then do a check-in and see how they're doing, how they're growing. Eggs, fish loss, maybe, I don't know. The only things that die are mostly the fry that aren't resilient enough to survive my bad husbandry when it comes to raising fry. But, you know, I'm still learning, and there's a lot to learn. So if I learn it, I will tell you that I learned it, and maybe you can learn from it. I don't know. But yeah, let's get started. So I'm feeding them micron powder just so that I could get them to come to the surface without chasing the food. But these are the Kohaku Lame Medaka. They have not produced any eggs yet. The female has carried eggs, but there's only one male in here. So unfortunately, I'm stuck with bad ratio. And I can't find any more Kohaku Lames online, so I'm probably gonna have to buy some as soon as they come up. Hopefully people don't snap them up and I miss out on that. But they're doing fine otherwise. I just wish I had another male or 2 to kind of offset things. Yeah, that's the Kohaku Lame. Next up is the Kamashi Medaka. I've gotten a couple bunches of eggs off of this week, and a little bit of last week too. A few of them have hatched. I haven't moved them over to the other pond yet. My fry ponds are completely messed up. I almost feel like I want to just kind of combine all the fry together and let them grow out together and then separate them once they've grown, because I honestly can't tell which is which when it comes to fries, but I feel like I have a couple fry in the fry ponds that are growing out from these guys that will hopefully be sizable soon. But yeah, these guys are still doing pretty good. I actually pulled a couple eggs off of them a few minutes ago before I started filming. Yeah, the Kamashi Medaka. Right, here are another of my favorites, the Kohaku Taiku. Similar to the Lame, but not, apparently, according to its labeling. Or I guess it's the same, but I guess more refined pattern with the Lame. I plan on actually moving a few of the males over to the Kohaku Lame pond and seeing if I could begin some sort of crossbreeding with them and kind of loop back around to the genetics. But I'm not sure if I'll do that. I'll just have to keep looking online. But yeah, the Kohaku Taiku. There's a few bits of eggs in the pond, in the mops. I looked at them a minute ago. I'll probably pull those tomorrow because it's really hot outside still. And that floater is covered in plants, so I'm not going to bother removing those because I lied. I'm going to do it because there's a net nearby. So there's a few of them in there. I'm not going to dig them out because I don't want to risk pulling them out. But yeah, the Kohaku Taiku. Alright, these are the black Miyuki. Black Miyuki. And I also have a bunch of eggs that I pulled from these guys this week. I made this ring thing. I don't think it's actually working. It's just hanging out right there. Not doing its thing. But yeah, they're doing pretty good. We've had a lot of rainfall the last few days, and I'm pretty sure these ponds have gotten more rain than they need. But these seem to be doing alright. Need to top them off actually at some point. Here's the misc Medaka pond. Got a lot of different varieties in this pond just because it was a pond. We're looping back here to some channel lore if you haven't watched any of the Medaka Pond Checks. But this is a bunch of Medaka that came out of a colony of different types of Medaka. I know there's Kohaku Lame in there. I know there's probably black Lame in there also, and whatever this platinum fish is. But for the most part, I've got some interesting colors coming out at the top. That one's got like cool shimmer. Let's feed them. I'm not actively trying to breed these guys, but whatever happens, happens. we'll just see if there's any fish in there that I actually want to continue the line with, and then progressing from there, because there's like cool variations from the top. There's a lot of sparkle and lame in some of these fish, so I might just try to keep that going within that specific line. I don't know, I'm not a breeder, and I'm certainly more experimental than analytical and logical when it comes to this stuff. But you know, I think that's part of what makes Medaka great, is that you could probably like generate your own kinds and varieties based on experimentation. I mean, a lot of the stuff that has arisen probably isn't from random nature. It's definitely the work of human hands, and get your hands in there and play with the fish you got, right? That looks cool over there. All right, these are the classics right here now. You know, this is the, I wish I could like do a better job of recording this. I'm sorry, people. There we go. There's some sort of focus. I just gotta get them to come over here. Yeah, these are the red tigers. They're growing in nicely. These are kind of just growing in all together. I wish I could have done a little better job of separating them, but the ones that are out and about are actually fish that survived through now, I guess. So it seems kind of weird to move them at now. But yeah, red tigers. This variety, I don't think I'm gonna keep anymore. Once these guys grow out to a good size, I might sell them. I haven't really decided. I guess the goal would be to continue proliferating and refining the line some more, but it's one of those, it doesn't bring me that much joy, I guess, because when I think about it, I think about how much more work I'll have to do to get them to, you know, higher quality. So these might get sold at the swap. Red tigers. All right, next up is the red king glitter. Again, maybe I need a bigger pond for these. Maybe I need something to inspire me with these. But these are also kind of like going down the line of like, meh. It's not as much fun as the Kohakus. Maybe I'll just only do Kohakus, Wazoomis, Kamashis, and black Miyukis. I don't know. These guys, they're still producing eggs. I feel like they were pretty old when I got them, but they're still producing eggs. I should probably pluck them, because these guys will destroy anything that goes in here. They've already eaten an entire colony of themselves after they jumped into this pond, pulled this fry basket. But yeah, red king glitter, still doing great. All right, next up, the impossible to film Wazoomi. I feel like I need a white background for this. But if they come up, they come up. There they are. There's one. Yeah, I think the problem is the reflection. It makes it really difficult to focus. But more batches of eggs on the mops. The fry are growing in pretty nicely. Yeah, I think that's it. Favorite. First favorite? Second favorite? I don't know. I don't know which favorite. I don't know what. These are cute though. All right, this is the fry check. I had a lot of rain this week, and unfortunately all these ponds were under the awning part that just, you know, isn't under the awning. So they all got pretty full. The Wazoomis, the batch from the last clutch of eggs, that's pretty much all of them there. There's a big guy in here that has outgrown everyone else, so I have to figure out how to get him out before I put these guys in there, because I don't think that's gonna be nice. But the Wazoomis are doing good. The Red King Glitter, that one almost overflowed, but yeah, I need to drill a hole in it. What else? They're doing all right. That's the second batch. There's fish in there already. The Red Tigers, again, like I said, I'm not very enthusiastic about these. They're hiding under the Salvinia. I see them every once in a while when I feed. I don't really feel like, you know, trying to focus on that because it's impossible. So we're just gonna take my word for it that there's fish in these. I don't know what's in this. I feel like it's a Kamashi or a Kohaku Taiku. One of these two is Kohaku Taiku. One of them is Kamashi. I'm not really sure which is which. We'll find out when they grow out a lot more. 2 extra ponds were put up this week as well, because there was a bunch of plants on the surface of these ponds that needed to come out. So obviously you can't just throw those away because you're probably throwing away a bunch of fish. So they're in here, and if there's fish, I will find out whenever I sell the plants, because at that point I'm done trying to raise more fish. What I'm saying is, if they get sold along with the plants. I'm not actively going to try and separate fish from it, because that's more work on my part, and I don't really want to work on that hard. Someone else can have some fun with Medaka, I guess. This pond here, they had a flower. If I have footage of it, I'll cut to it. Look at that Lotus flower. Nymphaea flower, I guess is the technical term. I forgot what they're called. I just remember the scientific name on the thing was the Nymphaea, so it's a Nymphaea. But it's doing pretty good. Oh yeah, I mentioned there is fish in here. They're just at the bottom. There's fish in there also. They just don't swim up very high, so we're just gonna let them be. I already fed them, so it's gone now. Try to get a close-up of that. But yeah, this is another mixed Medaka pond, and yeah, they're doing all right in there. There's a big one in there as well, so you know there's hierarchy to their environment in there. But the sun is shining through the clouds, and now it's going to start to trickle. The round pond over here is still doing pretty good. Some of the fish are pretty big. I'm hoping that they haven't gotten eaten, but you can't really see them. There's some light colored ones because of the platinum whatever that was in the colony that I got, but there's also a lot of like darker black lame looking fish in there as well. So when I break this down, we'll find out what's actually in here all together, because there's a lot. Oh, that's a big one. But yeah, that's it for the active ponds. What am I gonna do next? So I pulled these out of storage. I'll probably be setting these up in the upcoming week. I have a couple round ones down there that I'll probably set up as well. These will probably just be strictly ponds for fish that don't have the qualities that I want. I'll probably end up putting the mixed Medakas, separating them, and then putting them in here, and then yeah, doing that. But until then, that's a project for this week, so stay tuned. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram. I pretty much post daily Medaka Pond checks, I try to upload this here, but it doesn't always work out because I'm lazy. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.